अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, इस वक्त मैं एरिन मिल्स जो कि मेरी अपनी राइडिंग है उसमें मैं कैसर डार साहब के साथ मौजूद हूँ और ये वीडियो स्लो टीवी के लिए है। कैसर डार साहब हमारे नॉमिनेटेड कैंडिडेट हैं एरिन मिल्स से। तो कैसर डार साहब आपको बड़ी बड़ी मुबारक हो, आप कुछ कहेंगे सर?
सबसे पहले मलिक साहब आपको बहुत मुबारक हो, क्योंकि आज से 10 साल पहले मलिक साहब ने मुझे बहुत इनकरेज किया था कि मैं पॉलिटिकल अरीना में थोड़ा सा हिस्सा लूँ। तो आज 10 साल के बाद अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह कम्युनिटी की तावन से, लोगों की मोहब्बत और इस सारे सिलसिले में कि आज ये है कि नॉमिनेटेड कैंडिडेट फॉर लिबरल पार्टी फॉर राइडिंग मिसिसागा एरन मिल्स। तो इंशाल्लाह अगले इलेक्शन में हम जीत के इस कम्युनिटी को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे
इंशाल्लाह। बदार साहब थैंक यू वेरी मच। अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, इस वक्त मैं एरन मेडल्स कम्युनिटी सेंटर में हूँ और हम यहाँ आए हैं कैसर डार साहब जो कि लिबरल के नॉमिनेटेड कैंडिडेट है एरन मिल्स से प्रोविंशियल राइडिंग के लिए। उनकी आज ऑफिशियल नॉमिनेशन मीटिंग है और मेरे साथ खड़ी हैं जनाब MP इकरा खालिद साहब जो कि इस वक्त इंतजाम में बड़ी मसरूफ़ हैं। MP जी 5 सेकंड के लिए कुछ कहेंगी आप?
Thank you everyone proactively and in advance for everything that we are going to do for Qaiser Dar in our riding of Mississauga Erin Mills to ensure his securing the seat to represent Ontarians. We are very, very excited to nominate him today as a community, and we are going to keep up the hard work to make sure that Malik and Qaiser Dar are the representatives for us here in Ontario.
Thank you very much. Baba ji, yes sir.
May I have your attention, please? Hush, hush, hush. Welcome to an outstanding event tonight, and it's great to see so many friends support an outstanding candidate who's going to represent us well here in Mississauga. But before we introduce him, we want to also recognize the president of the Liberal Party of Ontario, someone I've had the pleasure of working with for many years in the Ontario legislature, someone who's been a minister, was actively involved in day-to-day activities in the province, someone who I had to rely upon many times when she wanted money, and I said, I'm sorry, there's no money. We have to balance the books. And everybody came together recognizing that we need to be fiscally responsible as well as socially progressive to support the needs of the community. And Catherine McGarry understood that. So much so that she became mayor thereafter. And she herself had to deal with budgets and to ensure that we take a balanced approach to the things that matter to people in our community. And someone's going to also be very relevant in those instances to be progressive while being responsible will be our candidate. I'm not even going to name him because Catherine McGarry's job is to do just that. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the president of the Liberal Party of Ontario, Catherine McGarry.
In about 5 minutes.
Charles, isn't he fantastic? Can we give one more hand for him, please? Well, good evening, everybody. I am absolutely delighted to be here. I am Catherine McGarry, President of the Ontario Liberal Party, and can I say how proud I am and how honored I am to be in this entire room of Liberals. And for people that are just listening at home, it's standing room only. Give yourselves a hand. Thank you for coming out this evening. So it's absolutely my pleasure to call to order the Mississauga Erin Mills Provincial Liberal Association nomination and candidate presentation meeting. And not only am I pleased to be here on behalf of Ontario Liberal Party, but I do bring greetings from all of the table officers at Executive Council. I also wanted to say that This is a wonderful nomination meeting in a series of a number of nomination meetings we've been having, and I'm incredibly proud of each and every single candidate, some of whom are already here in the room. And I'm just going to stop there for a moment and ask nominated candidates to please put up your hands. There we are. Please. So very, very excited to have this happening. So tonight we'll come back to the current nomination. Only persons that have been included in the approved nomination plan of this constituency association and has executed all documents within accordance with the Ontario Liberal Party's Constitution nomination rules and filed them with our nomination commissioner following the call of this meeting are eligible for nomination. And there is one person eligible to be nominated. And it's no surprise who that person is. So I am now going to call upon somebody to nominate our candidate.
I nominate Qaiser Dar.
Thank you. Thank you very much for nominating. Now, seconder, I have a list of people to second. I'm going to ask you all to put up your hands, and I'm going to call it one person. Look at that. Huge number. Rima Zuberi is seconding the nomination. And again, thank you to all those who wanted to second it. I think the entire room wanted to second this nomination, so thank you very much. I declare nominations closed and declare Qaiser Dar duly nominated as the Ontario... Before I ask Qaiser to come up and chat to us, just so you know, we have a number of people here this evening that are very excited and offered to come and speak on your behalf. But I just wanted to not only congratulate him, but also let you know that one of the reasons I'm here is that he asked me to come and run the nomination meeting. I don't know if any of the rest of you are the same as me. I can't say no to anything he asks. Isn't that true? And that's why this guy is going to be an incredible nominated candidate. He is going to absolutely ensure that this riding goes red and that he is representing all of Mississauga, Erin Mills constituents in Queen's Park. I have great confidence in him. He has been at every event that I have been. He's been a support to me since I've been the president of the party. And I know that you all join me in absolutely welcoming and congratulating our newest candidate, Qaiser Dar. For this, we're going to have one more speaker, but I am going to declare this nomination meeting closed, just so that I make sure I tidied it all up. I've got a staff room to listen to.
Good evening, everyone. Isn't it a wonderful night to nominate a wonderful candidate? I have the honor of representing Don Valley East at Queen's Park and of being the Ontario Liberal Critic for Healthcare, Housing, Northern Development, and Indigenous Affairs. But tonight I have the honor of representing my fellow 9 caucus colleagues, Ontario Liberal caucus colleagues, and Bonnie Crombie. And I'm here to give greetings and to express our shared excitement at our latest nominated candidate. Now, I look at Qaiser and I see someone who is selfless, compassionate, inspiring, amazing, and hardworking. I see that in Qaiser. I see that in Jill and Liz, our other nominated candidates. I see that in all of the faces looking back at me right now in this room. I wish I could say that I saw that in the current MPP for Mississauga, Erin Mills. I wish I could say that I saw those qualities in our province's premier, or the government that is leading our province right now. Hardworking. Certainly say that about him, but not about this government. That's been something that's been on my mind a lot lately, as this week, my team and your Ontario Liberal Party have been getting ready to return to Queen's Park on Monday. On Monday, after a 4.5-month extended break, while this province has been battered by crisis after crisis after crisis. In healthcare, 2.5 million people don't have a family doctor right now. Last year, 10,000 people died waiting for diagnostic imaging and surgeries. Every single day, as we speak right now, there are 2,000 people getting care in unconventional spaces. Those are hallways, closets, bathrooms, because this government is destroying healthcare. On housing, rent has gone up by 83%. Housing prices have gone up by 45%. And we learned just this week that this government started building 15% fewer homes than they did 1 year ago. And they took a 4.5-month break. It's time to send these guys a message. It's time to tell them that Ontario deserves a better, more enlightened, more compassionate MPP in Mississauga, Erin Mills. And a better, more compassionate, more enlightened, hardworking government in the Ontario Liberal Party. Now, it's not very often that candidates like Qaiser come along. It is a privilege that someone like him has stepped up and offered to represent us here in Mississauga, Erin Mills. But what I'd like to say is that with that privilege also comes a responsibility. That responsibility is ours to bear. He will need our help to turn this riding red. He will need us to knock on doors, to make phone calls, yes, even to open our wallets. But if we can do that, if we can all promise to commit to do that, then I know that with him at our side, with Jill, with Liz, with all of you at our side, then we, the Ontario Liberal Party, will form the next government. And we will make Ontario better, brighter, happier, and more prosperous for every single one of us. So thank you. Let's get this man elected.
I'll be very brief. Today is not my day. It is the day that we recognize that Qaiser Dar, as candidates, I'm sure each and every one of us who's ever been a candidate before has dealt with the wrath of Qaiser Dar to make sure that we are pushing ourselves to our limits. And that is why I support 100% the work that Qaiser Dar has done and will do for each and every one of us in Mississauga, Erin Mills. I've known Mr. Dar for about 10 years now. And over these 10 years, starting as the federal writing president in Mississauga, Erin Mills, going on to then represent the Liberal Party of Canada in Ontario, first as organization chair and then as director, and then going on to also, in the last provincial elections, after those elections, to go across the country, riding, rural regions, urban regions, talking to everybody to find out how can we do politics better. That is Qaiser Dar. He is not just a man with a vision, he is a man with a strong work ethic, not just for himself, but for everybody around him. And for that, I commend him, and I am looking forward to do the hard work with him here in Mississauga, Erin Mills, to ensure that this riding stays red, and we maintain the important work that Mr. Dar outlined in his remarks today. I'm going to stop there, but I do have to introduce a phenomenal member of provincial parliament, Adil Shamji, who is going to bring us home today, right? Thank you, everyone. Please come.
शोकेस बिलाल जी से हमारे डार भाई आज माशाल्लाह एरन मिल्स से हमारे नॉमिनी हैं और माशाल्लाह आप देख सकते हैं लिबरल की तरफ से कॉमन टिकट मिल चुका है. सो वी कंग्रेचुलेट यू फ्रॉम द बॉटम ऑफ आवर हार्ट. और इसके साथ साथ हम अपनी पूरी सपोर्ट की आपको 100% जो है ना वो गारंटी देते हैं.
आप हमारे भाई हैं, आपसे
थैंक यू. शोकेस करता शोकेस